Brian Kelley, the Executive Director of Patriots United, someone that I have the utmost respect for.
You guys fired up?
Yes.
Ready to make some changes?
Love to.
The kind of change that we know we can believe in?
Yeah.
Cut that. The last one didn't do that. I was at the wrong crowd. First, I want to just give some recognition for some people that really made this night possible. First are the sponsors. As you may or may not know, this is a 501c4 organization. So it's a not-for-profit, non-charitable organization. And the monies that we collect at the door, the big $5, and the $25 membership fee, if you haven't joined, we're going to be talking about that tonight, really don't cover the cost. And there's numerous people over the last few months that have made some great donations. But tonight we have asked a few people that actually helped sponsor to cover the cost of this room. And just want to mention a few of their names. Steve Gerolds from Gerolds Plumbing. Our Director of Membership, John Leutch. And for all of you that may have grown up in the McHenry County area, have children gone through schools in Woodstock particularly, you all know Dwayne Studio, Jim Dwayne. They asked us, I guess somebody was a little nervous about him taking pictures, and he promised he wouldn't send any photographs to the National Security Office. So I'll check the photos first before they get published, trust me. I believe we have someone from the Northwest Herald here. Thank you for coming. And also, there's a lot of work that goes into putting this organization together, not just to make tonight a success, but things like doing logos. And Miranda Cordy, is she here? Yeah, can we wave your hand? She helped with our logo, get our logo design. As you picture that logo of 5 pillars, and that's kind of resembles what we stand for. And of course, all the work in getting this room together, I'd go for the whole night on this, but I can tell you there's one person I can always count on, we all can count on, that does so much and spends a lot of time making sure, like tonight was the room, the layout, the contracts, the whole thing. Mary Alger. Mary's also the one that helped coordinate the Tea Party at Crystal Lake that you may have heard from. So I'd also like to ask any person in the room that's an elected official or running for office to please stand up. Great, thank you for coming tonight. As Joe said earlier, we do not endorse candidates. It's part of our mission. Our primary objective is to help educate you on the issues by giving you the information that the media doesn't provide, except for the Northwest Herald. Well, we won't go. Also, one of the things that makes Patriots United work is we aren't out to replicate or replace organizations that are already hard at work. What we do is we work with and through already established groups, each of which are part of our 5 pillars. There's a lady here tonight that most of you may know. I've known her for a long time, and she's done so much for our community, and especially in advancing the right to life. Irene Napier. The pro-family pillar, of course, the pro-life is part of that. We recently have aligned ourselves also with the Illinois Family Institute, David Smith and his organization. You'll see some of the e-blasts that will be coming through. Also, earlier I mentioned Joe Edwards. Joe is the ambassador for ADF. And when we talk about limited government, we talk about defending rights, we talk about fighting the ACLU, that's what that organization does. And that's Joe's representation there. When we talk about free market systems, We talk about using what Ronald Reagan had designed, by reforming our tax code, by giving the money back to the people to spend as they chose, to help businesses compete. We know the free market system works. It's been proven over and over. And a few years ago, an organization called Americans for Prosperity was formed. Joe Calomino, who's on the panel tonight, is the Illinois director of that organization, and Colin Corbett, who's also part of that. Again, another example of how we work to advance that free market pillar. I could go on in the list is growing. And organizations like the Heritage Institute, Cato Institute, fine institutions. Two things we got to think about to make change when it comes to electing and supporting people in office that represent our 5 issues. It's using and supporting the social conservatives and the fiscal conservatives. And we always haven't worked well together at times. But we have to realize you can't have one without the other. If we're going to bring this country back to our communities, we have to do it together. And that's what Patriots United is basically designed to do. Tonight is an example of things we're going to be doing in the future to hold town hall meetings that can give you information, to educate so that you can get the information and pass that out to your friends and family. Our website, which is being developed and expanded, you'll see more changes to that in probably the next week or two. Since the media does not necessarily want to educate or inform the general media, we now become the media. Years ago, when there was a call to arms, 250 years ago, people got on a horse, they rode through the towns. We don't have to ride a horse anymore. We have Twitter and Facebook, and help me out, guys. And Bill has a cell phone. For all those that don't know what I just said, we have cell phones. The point is we are the media. We are the channel of communication to our communities. Tonight is an example of that. The other side is taking that information and put it into action. Getting into action can be as little as passing that information on to friends and family, which is probably what a lot of you do, recommending people come to events like this, a number of people that are running for office that you like and get to meet and sign up and help them on their campaigns. But letting the elected officials know that after that election's over, that we're going to hold them accountable. And one of the things we want to do tonight is, and Mary will show you the literature, is to encourage all of you, if you haven't done already, to sign the health care petition form. I think there's copies at your desk. Exactly. And that's actually, they're on the table. And that material is actually printed by and distributed by Americans for Prosperity. You've seen a lot of things out there coming across your desk. You know, it works. Someone had done a study, and I don't remember who, it's mentioned at some of the meetings. The average number of people that it takes to change a local legislator's opinion on an issue is 23. Okay? At their office. Not just email, phone calls. And to show up, to let them know that there's 23 people that want change. We proved that in March with HB 2354. The churches, you saw an ad, and there, some of you may have seen an ad in the Northwest Herald. A lot of you helped support that ad. But it was an organization, it was just a movement of churches and community people that wanted to stop that bill from happening. And it was just a great example of what you can do to affect change by letting a local elected officials know that you don't agree with them. And we hold no punches back on Republicans or Democrats. We're about the issues, we're about the facts, and we're about change. And change is something that the administration talks about. What we want to do is just bring the power back to our communities. And there's 3 precious words that our founding fathers said to us and gave their life for. It's the 3 words that we forgot about. It's the 3 words that if we just do that, make the difference. We, the people.
Amen.
And if we let our congressmen and our state senators and elected officials know that we, the people, is who they work for, we'll see change. That's all we have to do. We don't have to reinvent government. We have to get active. And so if you haven't signed up as a general member, we encourage you to do that. We have a lot of great things coming down the pike. Mary's going to mention some announcements coming up.